Oh, okay. Now we are officially recording. I'll be darned. Okay, guys. Well, now that we're actually recording, this here is how to create tons of content in 17 minutes. So I actually came up with this program because I was recording a 17-minute video, and I took it over to my team, and we were able to actually create an entire month worth of content from one 17-minute video. I'm going to show you guys exactly how we do that, for my clients. I'm going to even give you the behind the scenes. I'm going to give you a spreadsheet template that we use to record our content, how to keep track of what's working and what's not working. I'm also going to show you something up here on this whiteboard that you guys can't see right now, but it's how we develop out content that really builds your brand, that really gets you out there, builds a deep emotional connection to your audience, helps you build a community, helps you become more relevant, helps you become what I like to call omnipresent, which means being in front of your target audience all the time. And lastly, to actually help build your authority and influence. Authority and influence, of course, is super important because you don't want to be like that model on Instagram who has 2.6 million followers and lost a clothing deal because she couldn't pre-sell 36 t-shirts to her 2.6 million followers. And by the way, Kevin and I, I'll introduce you guys to Kevin in a minute, but Kevin and I did the math on that, and it comes out to be 0.00018%.
Yeah, something like that.
A 10,000th of a percent of her user base she was not able to sell to. Fast forward to what real influence is, where you can make one Facebook post, just like those of you that are on here right now, show the value of something that you're going to help create and lead them to where they want to be, and have people whip out their wallet and pay you to learn. That shows that I have authority and influence to you guys. You guys trust me. I built a connection with you that hopefully you guys think that what I do is relevant to what you do, and that I can help you build your own brand. That's the goal with my content today, is to help you do that. And hopefully at the end of this, you will instill your confidence in me and be like, wow, Jeff, that was really cool. I can't wait to do that, and I can't wait to see all the stuff you guys do with it. All right? So I'm going to introduce Kevin really quick again. So Kevin and I have been doing copy together for a while. He's actually Ty Lopez's copywriter, but I just want to point this out there. He was my copywriter first, okay? So he's a great guy. He's super humble. He's been learning how to do copy from the best. Dan Kennedy is like one of your main mentors. He just recently passed away. God bless your soul, brother. A lot of amazing mentors, and obviously learning from Ty Lopez himself, because, well, he's writing his Facebook ads, his email posts, and he's averaging, am I allowed to say or no?
Well, whenever I write it, there's a couple of us, but whenever I write copy for a sale, it's usually around $5,000 to over $10,000 per email.
Per email. So basically, he's created millions of dollars over the past year or so, just by writing email copy and Facebook ads. So yeah, I'd say he's pretty much an expert. Of course, now we're gonna get into some fun stuff, guys. Shane, I can hear you now, so I'm assuming something's working. All right, I hope that's.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. So.
Oh, like, I'm sorry. I'm just driving, so I can mute myself.
No,
if you
that's
want.
totally okay, man. Yeah, all good. You're gonna be on the recording. You're famous now, Shane. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, it's a great way to learn in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah. So what we're doing here, guys, on the Zoom call, and my promise to you is that by the time that you're done with this, you guys are going to be able to have a rock solid plan on the type of content that you're going to be able to create that's worthwhile. And you're going to see the same process that I use for me and my clients to actually create this content without taking a ton of your time. Okay? Everyone on board? Sound good? Everybody? You can give me some thumbs up in the chat. You can say yes, whatever you want to do. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Good to go.
Sounds good.
All right. Here we go. I see thumbs up. All right. So first and foremost, I want to explain what Evergreen content is. The promise that I made to you guys is that you're going to have lots of content in a short amount of time. And the important piece to recognize here is it has to be evergreen. Evergreen meaning it never goes old. It's never out of date. It's stuff that whether it's well, let me hit the next slide button. It's continuously relevant. Is this something that can always be shown and people can say, wow, that's really cool? Or does it go out of date? Is your content relevant today and not tomorrow? And lastly, is it applicable to a new audience, a fresh audience that doesn't know who you are, or to an older audience that already knows you? And by the way, there's always good times to write content for each of those audiences separately, but I think there's just so much potential in creating evergreen content that's good. And these are the check boxes. These three, and by the way, you guys are going to need a copy of the slides, okay? So you're going to get a copy of this. I'm even going to give you a template that you'll see at the very end with literally a step-by-step checklist of how we do this with our clients. Okay, so these 3 steps, I want you guys to think about, are you wasting time on content that doesn't fit these 3 things? Will it go out of date? Is it continuously relevant? Is it fresh is it good and relevant for a new audience versus an old audience? Hi Scott, welcome in. You just came in at the right time, by the way. You didn't miss much, okay? So next, I want to show you guys something cool, okay? This right here, oh, let me put my phone on silent. Oh my gosh. There's people buying right now, and they're going to be coming in. So guys, there's going to be people coming in here. I see about 3 or 4 more people just bought. So I'm going to turn those off. Hey, they're going to get the recording if they don't show up anyway. But guys, this right here, and you're like I said, you don't have to worry about taking screenshots or anything like that. This is literally what it looks like. Okay, so what I've got here is the 6 steps. These 6 steps that you can use to create a ton of content. And actually, there's even more content that can be made out of this, and I'm added that towards the end because we've learned so much doing this for our clients over the years that we're adding even more in. Even this presentation itself, this presentation that you're watching right now, this lesson was created from a talk that I did to people at an event. I was teaching them how I do evergreen content. It was recorded. I didn't even have a slide presentation. I was just doing it off the cusp. And then my team took it and created a PowerPoint slide out of it. And now this is like one of the most raving reviews I've ever had. I've been invited to speak at Digital Marketer. I've been invited to speak at workshop after workshop for Mastermind. I've been paid to teach this. It's been really fun. And all because I recorded it. Well, technically they recorded it. They gave me the recording and we did the exact same steps that you see here. So this is why, guys, this video content today is really important, okay? What's really important, I'm going to try to change my view. Just give me 1 second. I have to change my view to spotlight video, pin video, spotlight video. All right, so now I'm on pin and spotlight, guys, so hopefully that'll work a little bit better for you instead of switching back and forth to other people. But what you're going to learn here today is how you can use the power of video. Is there anybody in here who is very uncomfortable on video? I'm watching the chat. I want to see the chat. I want to make sure if you're uncomfortable on video, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to know because I want to help you. Now I can't see the chat. This is fantastic. You can't make this stuff up. Okay.
I would say a fair amount would be.
Okay. Well, we're going to go there. We're going to go there just because I want to make sure. There we go. Now I can see the chat. That is so weird. I don't know if you guys can see the chat if I put it over here. Do you guys see a chat window on top of Evergreen content? Do you see it on top of my share screen? Do you guys see this? No? Okay, good. I'm going to leave it here then. I'm going to leave this up here. That way I can see it. Looks like you guys can't. So I'm excited. So, okay, actually looks like everybody hates video. So there's something that I want to share with you guys that's really cool is, and I wish I would have known this years ago, but 3 years ago I hired a coach. I hired a coach to help me speak, and I hired a coach to help me do video because, believe it or not, I'm actually an introvert. Back in my corporate years, I was very comfortable in business settings with 12 people or less. I could run a meeting. I was a project manager, so I had to. And actually, over time, I became better and better around people because I was more confident in what I was doing. And let me tell you something really special. When you understand the direction of where you're going, it changes everything. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a really clear map of the type of content you want to do. It's stuff that you already love. It's stuff you're already good at. And it should just flow. And I think that when you have more confidence in what you're doing and you're super passionate about it, at that point in time, it kind of transgresses past that fear of video, because then you're just kind of sharing things that you would normally talk to people about anyway. Something that I'd also encourage you guys to do, and actually I just had Kevin do, because guess what? He's one of those guys. That's why he's laughing. It's funny because it's true. Let me turn off my share screen for a second. I would totally recommend, guys, investing in this. Has anyone ever seen one of these? This is called a DJI Osmo Mobile. So the DJI Osmo Mobile, what I like about this, it has a couple buttons here, up, down, left, right, but you put your phone inside there and it keeps your phone completely still. Something else I really like about the DJI specific software is that it has something called face tracking, face mapping. So you can put this on, and this is a base you can buy. It's an extra 20 bucks or something like that. This is a base. And you stick this inside here, and you can put this on top of a tripod. And literally, it's like having your own videographer. You put this on top of a tripod, you draw a box around your face, and then as you talk and move, the camera actually follows you. And here's a cool hack, and here's why you want to do that instead of just setting up a tripod. You want to set this up. What's up, Ashley? Now I can see it. You want to set this up because it gets really boring watching someone on a tripod. Isn't it boring to see somebody who's like stationary, sitting somewhere and talking? It's really boring. It's why I always stand up, even here, when I'm presenting to you guys, because I want you guys to feel like you're interacting with me. I want you guys to feel like you're pulled into it. And these are tricks that I've learned over the years. It's really helped me catapult my own brand, because people are like, dude, Jeff's actually fun to listen to. I'm not only learning, but I'm also being entertained. And I think that there's that really interesting cross between entertainment and education, you know, the edutainment area that's really important to be in. Otherwise, people get really bored and they tune out. So I want you guys to think about that. So it always starts with recording video. You don't have to do video, by the way. You can totally do audio, okay? You can do podcasts. If you're more comfortable reading from a script, you just want it to make it sound like you're not reading from a script. we learned that because on the car ride over here, we were practicing a script, and I said, dude, use some gusto, man. I want to make me believe that you're saying this to me. So think about how you can use audio, and I'm going to show you guys how you can do that. But here's what's cool. If you're doing video, you're going to get the maximum potential from your content, because as you record a video, you have to remember you're doing a few things. You're actually capturing pictures. What are movies called? Motion pictures, right? You're getting pictures of yourself. You're getting video of yourself. You're getting audio of yourself. And what's beautiful about that is that the audio can be transcribed into text. So really, you're getting 4 different types of content from one single video, and therein lies the secret, guys. That's how we're able to take a single 17-minute video and turn it into an entire month's worth of content. Literally, we have something posted every day for a month from 17-minute video, and I'll show you guys exactly how. We create articles out of them. We do quote boards out of them. We do social media posts out of them. We create mini video clips. And we even create presentations out of them. We even create pictures out of them. And social media posts, guys, range all sorts of different ways. And I'll show you guys a couple of different ways that we do that for some of our larger clients, like Ryan Levesque from the Ask Method. And I'll also show you some ways and examples how we do it for our smaller clients, like me. I'm definitely one of the smallest clients my company serves. All right, so next I want to show you guys something cool. This is what I want you to think about. A lot of people go on and they're going to teach a lesson. They're going to act cool. They're going to sound cool. But this is why Kevin is such a great person to have in your toolkit. You got to tell stories. And your stories have to be authentic. They really need to be something that people can believe, right? And they also have to be relatable. They have to be something that people can say, okay, I get it. And the next piece is that you have to be relevant. And actually, this is why I have Kevin here, because I wanted you to explain to these guys how you're able to give them a very specific example of how you're using stories to sell.
Yeah, so example from an email I just wrote. It wasn't a salesy email, but it was pre-selling people to buy a product from Tide. So the story I wrote was him when he was younger. It was his birthday, and his dad had gone to prison the year before, but his dad was just getting out. And his dad called him and promised that he would come down and take Ty out to dinner. But it was 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. I didn't hear anything from his dad. And then he said his mom came home at midnight and found him there, just sleeping on the couch in the same exact spot where he laid waiting for his dad. So I got into that entire story, and when you start reading that, you totally forget who's actually the story's about, right? You forget about Ty, the millionaire, famous guy. You're reading a story about a child who was just abandoned by his dad, right? Because, everyone in their life has been let down by someone important to them. So that's super relatable and relevant, right? And then from there, I kind of correlate it to what the offer is about, right? So
what kind of offer was it?
It was an offer on how to build your own funnel agency. I know the two is definitely different, but the correlation, that transition is the most important part. So I correlated to something about, just trying something new and never having to rely on other people. So this is why you should start doing your own agency and start building other funnels for people, and I'll teach you exactly how.
That's great. Hey, Shane, could you mute your phone? I'm hearing a little feedback on that end.
Yeah, how's that?
Thank you, sir. All right, guys. So I want you to think about stories in your life that have impacted you, and see how the heck does somebody get a story about being abandoned as a child tie into making a sale, right? And also, I also want you guys to think about this. You don't always have to go for the sale. You don't always have to go for the sale. You can totally do content that helps do the same thing that these three qualities are. They make you feel more authentic, relatable, and relevant, okay? But I will tell you that I've been able to make the craziest things sell. I have made the craziest things sell. I want to give you an example about how you can build a strong connection. And actually, I have a crazy story for you guys. Has anyone here ever been to New Zealand? Anyone? Anyone? Let me see in the chat. Anyone been to New Zealand? No? Okay. Okay. So this is mind-blowing to me as an American, okay? But I went to a little town called Queenstown, and it is beautiful. If there was one word that I would use for Queenstown, it would be like extreme. It's extreme. It's extreme because you have like this beautiful, quiet lake, ocean, sea, but then you have the most rigid, crazy, jaggedy looking mountains. I mean, they're evil looking mountains. Some would say majestic. To me, mountains have scared me my whole life. I don't know why. But I am afraid of heights. Maybe that's why. But you too? Okay. Yeah. But what's really interesting about Queenstown, and by the way, they actually shot the Lord of the Rings there. That's how crazy, like the mountains and the Lord of the Rings and stuff. Yeah. Like it's shot there. Like those are the crazy mountains that are from the movie. But something that's really crazy about Queenstown is that hitchhiking is a normal thing. Has anyone hitchhiked before? Maybe there's some ballsy people in here. Anyone hitchhike? Let me see. Let me see in the chat. Anyone hitchhike? Sort of. Someone said short. Someone said short, sort of. I guess so. No, not rideshare. Come on, not Uber. We're talking like stick out your thumb and just pray to God that whoever's in the car is going to take you where you want to go? Anyone? Okay. I have picked up a hitchhiker before. That's funny, Scott, that you say that, because that's what happened to me. So when I got to Queenstown, I thought it was really crazy that that you could hitchhike, and they asked me, like, why did you rent a car? Like, I totally rented a car. They're like, why did you rent a car? You could totally just hitchhike. And I was like, I am not comfortable hitchhiking. But it grew on me over the 3 days I was there, and I was in my rental car, and I was going from like this event place that we were at down to downtown to go to this restaurant. And this guy was just sticking out his thumb, and I had this wild hair up my ass to just pick the guy up. So I pulled over, and I literally opened the door, and he hopped in, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Hey, thanks," but he had a New Zealand accent, which I'm not going to try. I don't want to offend anybody watching this. I do have clients and students in New Zealand, but I started telling him, I said, "Man, you're crazy. I don't know about hitchhiking. I couldn't do it. That's why I rented a car, but you look like a nice guy." And he looked at me and he said, "Weren't you like afraid as an American that, you know, you might have picked up this guy and he was a serial killer?" And I looked at him in the eyes and I said, "You know, the chances of 2 serial killers being in the same car together are slim to none. So no, I didn't think so." So there's the joke. We've now used a story to build a connection with people, and believe it or not, humor is the #1 reaction. I got a lot of ha-has in the chat right now. Someone was like, "I was just thinking about that joke." But the funny part is that's actually real, except for the fact that I didn't actually pick anyone up. I really was freaked out by it. But I really did have that story. But that's how you can tell a story, and you can actually get into people's minds. And you can use all sorts of different types of stories. All you really need to do is build trust with people, okay? And I want to warn you guys, when you guys know this if you're in my circle, but I'm a huge believer that marketing is much like a weapon, much like a gun, to be honest. It can be used for good or it can be used for evil. And it's really important that everything I teach you today is going to be used for good and not evil. Because it is true, marketing is manipulation. Good marketing is about changing and shifting the beliefs of people. It's about influencing their decision-making patterns. And this is what's really important. And when you tell stories, you're able to do that. Matter of fact, this guy tricked me not too long ago. He tricked me and told me that there was a cure for the common cold, that the cure for the common cold was actually H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. And he told me the story about how he was getting sick and he was about to go somewhere and he was like drastically like getting ill. He could feel it, and he tried popping an airborne or whatever else. And then his friend told him that he should go to this crazy doctor who like swore up and down that you could get basically IVs of H2O2 and it takes care of all your sicknesses, because H2O2 is what did you say, a free radical? It's a free radical. And it basically destroys all the bacteria and any types of viruses and stuff that are in your skin before they actually are in your bloodstream, before it actually attaches to you. And he went in there and he actually got an IV of H2O2. He got a whole bag filled and he started feeling better. Almost, you said like within 30 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, instantly almost.
Almost instantly. If you guys have ever had an IV, like if you've ever been dehydrated, you get just a saline bag, you know how good that feels. But he started getting that with H2O2 and he started feeling really great. And actually he was able to perform what he was doing that night. He went to the event, felt great, but he started feeling a little bit wheezy again. And the doctor told him that he needed to do 3 to 6 more treatments to have full recovery. And he said, let's go, let's sign up. And then he started thinking like, man, I'm just going to start investing in hydrogen peroxide. That's what H2O2 is, hydrogen peroxide. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. How come I've never heard of this? And he said, that's because it's a complete lie. And I was like, what? And he was teaching my students this, and he said that that's a complete lie. It's a fabricated story to prove to you guys that you can use storytelling to basically make people believe anything you say. So again, it's really important that your stories are authentic, relatable, and relevant. Let me pull the chat up again. That is missing. All right. Okay, guys. And the chat went away again. Okay, I think I figured it out now. So I have to move this chat over here for sure. All right. So I want you guys to think about how to be really specific with your topics. So what problems do you solve? Okay. What do you do? Why do you do what you do? Right? Your why story, your origin story. Kevin and I have something called the 7 core stories of your life. These are usually things like overcoming the giant. We've all had something really big that happens to us in our life, and how do we deal with it? How do we overcome that? Your origin story is, you know, what are the things that brought you to where you are today? What was that defining moment in your life? And there are 7 plots that Hollywood uses that most every blockbuster since the beginning of Hollywood and motion pictures has used, and most of the blockbusters are using one of those 7 plots. So we think about how you can leverage stories in your life, and we're actually going to have on the handout, we'll show you the 7 different stories that we use, okay? And think about what stories that you have, that have shaped your life, like the hitchhiking story, right? Or his fake story about hydrogen peroxide, but the real story, how Ty Lopez is using his story about how when he was abandoned as a child. Or even for me, I felt like a complete loser in school. I really had bad grades up until 8th grade. I really hated school, always was hanging out with the wrong crowd. Probably when I went into high school, that changed because no one from my old crappy school went to my new high school, which was nicer. But then I was stuck into a place where I didn't have any friends. And I think we all can feel that time where we've had no friends, right? Like, how can you use these stories to shape into who you are today? And also, something I really enjoy, what are the common beliefs that people have that you can prove wrong? So I have some examples coming up here in a second. But check this out. For me, a great one, branding isn't important, right? I love doing anything about how branding isn't important. Also, you can't make money without ads. Something that people think. If you're going to scale your business, you have to use ads. I've never spent ads. You need a lot of followers to be an influencer. So these are my own things that I know in my branding industry, in my marketing industry, that people think is true, or they don't understand, that I write a lot of stuff about. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you something really cool here. So I'm going to summarize this little section here by switching over to my whiteboard. So I'm going to stop sharing here. We're going to move over. And I am hoping that you guys are going to be able to make all this out. Hopefully it looks clear to you. How's that look, y'all? Can you see this? This is where it says offer. It's kind of a bet. You know what, Kevin? Maybe you can hold it. How about that?
Here.
Give it a shot, brother. See what you can do. Does that look good? Whoa, don't go too low there, buddy. There we go. All right. So this is what we call the 5 pillars of expertise. And it all really relates to your core offer. So what the heck is your core offer? So I want you guys to strike whatever you think what your core offer is. Your core offer is your ability to instill confidence that whatever you do, whatever product, service, whatever that you're doing, coaching, whatever it is that you do, that people have utter confidence in what you actually do. So to do that, you have to have what I call the 5 pillars of expertise. And the 5 pillars of expertise is actually content, expert content that proves that you can do this. And there's 5 different areas that you need to do to prove. So for me, if I'm going to sit there and show you that I can actually help you grow a really awesome brand online and become an authority in your space, then there's 5 main things that I have to be able to do to prove to you. 1, my team's going to be doing a lot of work for you. So one of my pillars is actually team building, showing my expertise in building a rock star team of people that can actually do this for you. So I do a lot of virtual team building. I talk a lot about hiring process. I talk about scaling. This is one of the aspects of my business that support my core offer. The other one is branding. So if I have all sorts of content about branding, it could be design, it could be doing this and teaching you guys how to do some of this, content marketing, all that kind of stuff, then this is my pillar that supports my my branding column. The next one is social media. If I'm going to share with you guys how to actually have success on social media, it's probably important that I have some success on social media myself and I have content around that. The next piece for me is inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is super duper important because you need the whole point of doing marketing online is to bring people to you. So whether that's websites, funnels, organic growth, whatever, even ads, things like that. These are strategies. I do lots of content around inbound marketing. And lastly is copywriting. Copywriting is so dang important, guys. It's probably the most critically essential skill for a marketer. The ability to actually write something that really gets that deep emotional connection. It makes people feel more relatable to you, or you more relatable to them. And copywriting is also an essential thing that you need to actually sell. Like if you want to sell something, you have to convince people. And copywriting is the act. It's an art of turning words into dollar signs. Literally what copywriting is. Now you'll see there's two things supporting each one of these pillars. See that? These I call pillar network mapping. So who are the most important people? Who are some of the most iconic people in your industry or in these experts in these industries? So for example, in virtual team building, I have John Jonas in there. John Jonas is the founder of onlinejobs.ph. Another person is Dennis Yu. Dennis Yu is great. Matter of fact, he could be in most of these because he's great at copywriting, ads, inbound marketing, whatever. But let's say for my branding column, if somebody starts trying to smash these columns down and say, Jeff, I don't trust you. I don't believe that you can help me grow an incredible brand because just last year, you weren't the branding guy. You were the king of outsourcing. Now you're trying to tell me that you're some sort of expert in branding in the past year? How did that happen? Well, let me tell you about one of my network pillar supports, which is somebody named Doug Harrison. Doug Harrison, who I'll be writing a story about if you guys follow me on Facebook, which I know you do. But Doug Harrison is somebody that I met and actually helped me come up with what I call the core branding method. And Doug Harrison was at a mastermind with me, and he actually criticized some of the stuff I was doing for clients like Ryan Levesque, Tanner Larson, and really experts in their fields, because I told them that my company, Branded Media, was doing branded media for them, and we were doing all sorts of content, just like I'm teaching you guys here today, but something very interesting happened. He told me that what I did wasn't actually create content. I wasn't a content creation team. I didn't create branded media. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? And why is he raining on my parade? Well, after he destroyed everything and made me feel super small, he told me that what I do isn't just create branded media. He said that what I do is bring people to the world that matter. We're going to move back up here. Your arm's getting tired. You're buff, bro, and you're still getting your arms tired. All right. I'm going to move this a little bit here. Okay. How do we get the chat? There we go. All right, guys. So Doug Harrison, who I had no idea who he was, destroyed me. And as I'm walking away, I felt like he understood what I was doing. He felt like he understood like what I was trying to achieve. And people started coming up to me at the mastermind saying, Jeff, wasn't that really cool to get that feedback from Doug? And to be honest, I didn't think it was very fun at all. I felt like he was destroying my business. I felt like he really was hurting the confidence that I had built in what we do for our clients. And they were like, no, but to get that from Doug Harrison. And I had no idea who Doug Harrison was at the time. He was just Doug at the mastermind. And they said, dude, Doug is like the branding god. He's worked with Coca-Cola and Amazon and Microsoft and Activision and LucasArts and Disney. If you've ever seen a commercial on TV with a polar bear and a penguin, that's Doug. I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, wait a second. Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Back it up. I felt like a complete idiot. A complete idiot. And I actually went straight to Doug and I told him, I said, I don't have a mentor in the branding space. I mean, I had a few, to be honest, but no one that has the type of clout that Doug Harrison has, who's worked at Yankovic, probably one of the best branding agencies in the world, started his own firm and has on his own, by himself, worked with the biggest brands in the world. His very first client leaving Yankovic was Coca-Cola, doing the happiness campaign, which is the one I described to you earlier. So I wanted to work with really huge brands. I'd love to be the authority and icon in the branding space. And I said, I don't know what it's going to look like financially or what, but I want to be mentored by you. The next thing you know, he asked me to fly out to his house. He said it had to be this week before Wednesday because, and this was only 3 days away, by the way, because he was renting his house out to Michael Crabtree, a famous NFL player, for those of you who don't know sports. But at first I thought, wow, what kind of house is that going to be? But I literally flew Kevin from Philly all the way down. We went, stayed at his house in La Jolla for a day. We worked on the core branding method. And literally, he helped me create the brand journey from where somebody is right now to becoming an authority in their space in 12 months. Everything that we've already been doing for our clients, but in a seamless process. And even adding a little bit on. So it's really important to have really strong stories. It's even stronger to have people to back that up. And now that Doug loves what we're doing, we did a Zoom call with him and showed him all the stuff we're working on. He started crying. He said, oh my God, I've never seen anyone put something together so fast. Which goes back to my building awesome teams pillar that I said before. But what's really incredible, guys, is that it's so important to not just to have a bunch of followers doesn't make you an authority in your space. You have to be recognized by other experts in your space. You have to be recognized by other experts in your space to truly be recognized as an expert in your space. I didn't wake up one day and magically get Marcus Murphy or Ryan Dice from Digital Marketer reaching out to me, asking me to speak at Digital Agency Expo. It was a gradual thing. It was me investing in those relationships. It was me teaching on stage at their Digital Marketer Certified Partner Day, which I did this presentation at. It was about showing up to Austin, Texas, not once, but twice to support them and not only teach, but to also be there and communicate and build those relationships with those key people. And same with Dennis Yu, who I literally invested. I had him come out to my office in the Philippines to work with me on some stuff and helped land some really big clients for him. And mutually, we all work together now. And those relationships are so key, guys. These evergreen content strategy that I'm teaching right now, focus on people, because so many people are focused on B2C. C to B, B to C, B to B, whatever kind of crap they want to do. But you know what? It's always H to H, human to human, P to P, person to person. You have to get that sinking in, guys. That I wish I would have learned that sooner in my life. It feels like the last year of my life has really been the only year I've really understood that fully. So I'm going to share my screen again, guys. We're going to show you something really cool here. All right, any questions? Are we good? Are we good? All right, let me check the chat again. Trying to get this to work, guys. I can't see the chat. Chat. There we go. Oh, somebody said relationships are everything. Scott had to run. All good, brother. Replay will be sent. Okay. So next piece, y'all. So remember this. By the way, you're going to see this slide a lot tonight. Okay, remember this. You're going to see this a lot because this is really, really dang important that you guys get this cemented into your head, because this is the best investment of time you're ever going to make, is doing these videos, okay? So what you want to do, guys, record these videos. And guess what happens? Teach, teach, teach. Just like I said earlier, sign up for podcasts. Get on podcast shows, guys. Get on stages. Do whatever you can do. Show up to a Facebook group call. Hell, do Facebook Lives to yourself or maybe your mom, whoever's watching. Don't waste your time just creating content that no one's going to ever see. You know, start showing up. I thought that was creative. You got to start showing up. If you want to be on top, you got to start swimming to the top. Okay? You got to think about it like the Coast Guard. You know, the Coast Guard, if there's a boat that capsizes and 10 people are in the water fending for themselves, and that helicopter comes over and they can only fit 2 people at a time to save, you know how they save those people? It's the people that swim towards them. That's who they get first. The people that try to save themselves get saved. So remember, it's really frustrating in the beginning when you only get a couple likes, you only get a couple views, you only get a couple comments. But you know what? Those comments, those likes, they matter. And those people, they need you, okay? And I'm not trying to be like some inspirational pep talk right now. God knows there's enough of those. I'm just saying that you don't have to have a giant network to make a strong impact. You don't have to have a huge number of followers to create influence. Influence is about having real decision-making power with the people. All you need is 10 people, 50 people, 100 people. You grow, you grow, you grow. You keep over-delivering. You keep doing what you want to do. You keep showing people and show up. Like already I'm way over-delivering on this right now. Not trying to float my own boat here, but I've gone a little bit over. Okay? So teach every type of podcast you're on, every type of stage appearance you're on, everywhere that you are, everything that you do, get the recording. Get the recording, because that is what's going to feed your content creation machine. Recording, 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 okay? Ever go speak on stage somewhere? Get that friggin' recording. Anytime you do calls with your clients, anytime you do calls with your team, record it. Record it, get permission, but record it. Just say, hey, can I record this? Probably gonna turn this into some videos later. Is that okay? Yeah, cool, great, thanks, okay? Remember this? This is quote boards. So once you take those transcriptions and you get all the cool stuff out of it, you're going to go ahead and get quote boards. And by the way, I'm going to show you at the end here, like very specifically how we do transcriptions, okay? But you want to take that out. Make sure you always have a couple good pictures of yourself somewhere, okay? Everyone's got a nice camera now. You know why? Because if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, those cameras are friggin' way better than the professional ones that were 5-6 years ago, okay? People always comment on my Google Pixel camera, and same thing, you got portrait mode in Apple and Google. Use that up. Do some nice pictures, and then attach your quote to it. Check it out. Boom. Okay, this is one of our clients, Ryan Levesque from the Ask Method, and these are screenshots from videos. He also had some pictures of events that he's at, and then we take these quotes from his videos. So what's the next step for you to take that's so small it's literally impossible for you to fail? I want to build something that's not going to end tomorrow, but that's going to last the next decade. These are quotes that he said during his videos, and we just pull it out, okay? Now, remember this. This is why you need to have a little bit of creativity. When you're doing your videos, all your videos can be transcribed and you can turn them into social media posts. Check this out. So here's something that I think we posted like one day ago, because I just made the slide today. So he had a video talking about something called rice. Trying to decide between all the opportunities sitting in front of you right now, use rice. And then on that video, he talks literally what I'm about to tell you is rice. Like he says this on the video. Use this process to help prioritize any decision you need made in your business. To do that, I want to introduce you to the rice formula. This is a 4-step calculation to help you make effective decisions about where to put your focus in order to have the highest possible ROI. Reach, impact, confidence, divided by effort. That's the rice score. Trying to figure out which new product to introduce, use rice. Okay? Check out the next slide, guys. This is why it's so important. Quizzes work incredibly well for a few big reasons. One, psychological force, the power of micro commitments. Psychological force number two, power of self-discovery. Also, something just as simple as easy as incredibly cheap leads. Quizzes yield cheaper leads in most markets than anything else. The way it works out, even if your quiz leads don't convert quite as well, blah, blah, blah. I'm reading the script, I'm bad at it, but basically that's literally copy and paste from the transcript to this video. This is literally a 47-second video where we copied and pasted the transcript and pressed enter a few times and put the number 1 and number 2. That's it. Okay? Are you guys getting this so far? Let me see. Are you awake? I want some thumbs up. If you're getting lots out of this, if you see some really good ideas how you are able to leverage your content, I want to see some thumbs up. Well, I guess on Zoom it's probably not the greatest. Okay, someone says great. Yes, okay. Say anything you want. You can tell me bad names if you want, okay? Call me anything you want, just don't call me late for dinner because I am hungry. All right, remember this. Mini video clips. Mini video clips. Oh, somebody just had a good question. Woohoo! How do you put those headers and subtitles in? We're going to get to that, Ashley, and I'm really excited that you asked me that because that is coming up on the create mini video clip section. All right, so on these mini video clips, you'll see here, I have a graphic designer, although you could totally get this done pretty much anywhere. There's services out there as well, but for me, I have my team. There's 4 critical elements really to branding a really strong video. One of them is use square format. Guys, if you use square format, you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You're going to get the leverage that you won't even believe because now you're talking Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. They all accept square video. Even YouTube today now accepts square video. Yes, even YouTube. Okay? Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. Look into vertical video now because Instagram TV is doing really, really well. But look at what we're doing here. We're having really strong, bold headlines, number 1. Really strong, bold headlines. And you don't want to give away what is being taught inside the video. If you give away what the video is going to teach inside there, if you give the answer, then why would somebody want to watch the video? Okay? Like why would you spend effort on a multiple choice test if you've got the answer sheet laying next to it, right? You're not going to read it. You're going to look at the answer sheet and fill in the buttons. So don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you pique curiosity in people's minds. If that's the most important takeaway you get from here today, it's already going to give you a lot of ROI on the whopping little, less than $100 you guys spent to be here today. The headline is everything. Matter of fact, before you record videos, write headlines. Write headlines on a whiteboard. Get a notepad, whatever, sticky notes. Write headlines. Write headlines. Headlines will do everything for you, okay? Because you're making a promise. You're making a promise that you're going to reveal something to them. I was incredibly afraid to fail. Take steps that are too small to fail. Build your legacy. People want to know. Look at the captions down below that I'm going to be able to pass on. Well, can I actually use this? I'm going to mess this up. Those are good. It makes you go, what the heck is he going to say? Right? And that's all thought about. Another thing I want you guys to think about too is the progress bars that go across. Okay? I'm going to share, I'll share one with you right now actually. Let's see if I can get this on here. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me go to his account. Can you guys all see this? Let me try zooming in. Somebody say yes to me if you don't mind. I just want to make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks guys. So here's that one right here. Quizzes work really well. There you go. And my volume's not working. There you go.
Anything else. And the way it works out is even if your quiz leads don't convert quite as well as some of your other sources, because the leads are so cheap, you can afford to have a lower conversion rate because it becomes the most affordable traffic that you get. And then last but not least, data plus buckets equals segmentation and customization. So what I mean by that is when you use a quiz, you have access to all these data points. If you ask someone in your quiz 5 questions, 10.
Okay, did you guys see the progress bar going across the bottom? I want to ask you guys a really honest question. How many times have you clicked play on a video and then you keep pressing your finger on the video to see how much of that video is left? Oh, you have. That's why he's laughing. You have. All right, I got some people saying that they have to me. Uh-huh, I see it. All right. So what you're doing, guys, when you have a progress bar going across, you're actually helping fulfill that anxiety that people have. People have time anxiety. People have shorter and shorter attention spans. So it's super duper important, guys, that you keep that attention span. And we found over a 70% increase in our view times because we have a progress bar. The progress bar gives people hope that it's going to be ending soon. Okay, that's what it is. It gives them hope. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit more on how we do this in just a moment. But you can use these videos for product launches. So this is where we took his new book, Choose. We put it over the video overlay in there, over. And we used this video to actually promote his new book called Choose. We had a really successful campaign, actually. It was named New York Public Library's Book of the Month. It was featured on CBS, like the actual CBS, and NBC. It was a really, really great launch. And leveraging that content really helps set you up. You can also use this type of thing to amplify your podcast and radio, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Anytime you've done TV appearances, podcasts, stages, get that content. You can do all this stuff to it, okay? Now remember this, I talked about creating an article, and by the way, I'm gonna show you guys my very specific process towards the end. So if you have questions about like how we do this, how we do that, don't worry about it, I got you, okay? So creating an article is literally taking the videos, taking those transcriptions, and then turning it into something that's actually useful, okay? So one of the things I did a talk about was how to use your LinkedIn to grow a personal brand and profitable relationships. This is a talk I did back in February of 2018. I did a talk in 2018. I had the recording, and I had a blog written up, and it was posted on LinkedIn Pulse. Guys, if you guys are not leveraging LinkedIn Pulse, you are crazy. LinkedIn algorithm right now is fantastic. You have to be on LinkedIn. I've had another article on Forbes that was put out called Freedom Recipes, how to have holidays again as an entrepreneur. This was published right before December of last year on Forbes. And bottom line is, it was a talk that I did about creating what I call freedom recipes, which are basically step-by-step kind of recipes, kind of like a standard operating procedure, but very specific towards having virtual team members. So leverage the heck out of your content to write as well, okay? But wait, there's more, okay? Everyone knows that, but wait, you can also create presentations. So how to create a month worth of content in 17 minutes, ones you're watching right now. How to create a useful standard operating procedure, AKA freedom recipe. How to write copy that turns your audience into brand ambassadors. How to weaponize your brand to grow your authority and influence. And my clear social method for social selling. Some of you guys are even in these programs. Okay, so these are all presentations that have been made from talks that I've done, from Facebook Lives that I've done, from trainings that I've done. And you guys can turn those into really great presentations. It's so important, guys, to leverage the heck out of your content. And what I really love about presentations, guys, is that that's one of the fastest ways to boost your authority, is to actually teach people something that's useful, that they come away saying, this is freaking awesome, and they tell other people saying, dude, Jeff just showed me how to do whatever. That was great, right? Ashley showed me how to do this, right? Shane showed me how to do this. like, that's what's really cool, and it helps really build your authority when people are saying great things about the lessons that you teach them. So focus on presentations as well. Now, I do want to talk about this. So there's different platforms that are being leveraged right now by me and my team, and I'll just tell you, like I already told you, the Square right now is doing the best. The Square is doing the best. We call these branded videos, okay? So when you do this, you're able to have video with captions on the bottom. You can take it to the next level and look at what platforms you're going to leverage for this content, okay? So for example, if you have Square video, it's going to be great for Facebook and LinkedIn. LinkedIn's not going to be as great for vertical video that's on the left, okay? But Squares just dominate. The interviews that I've done with Tom Bilyeu and little lifestyle videos that I've done, they dominate Facebook, they dominate LinkedIn. And by the way, like I said, if you really don't like video, this is a great example. This is a great example of how to leverage audio into something that's very visual into video. So I literally record something. I have my team put this together, and I'll show you when I say my team, I'll show you guys how to do it for yourselves if you want to. I'll also give you an option if you want to have my team do it for you. But for Facebook, Instagram, tall or wide, even square, like that's literally captions from a video that I wrote. And this is how it looks like in all three of those different formats: wide, tall, square. And as I speak, okay, as I speak, those words come up on the screen animated. And that works really well. It works really, really well. This right here is an example of that. This is one of my most commented and engaged posts ever. I did a podcast and I was talking about how I like hiring stay-at-home moms. I turned stay-at-home moms into work-at-home-for-me moms. And it's a great strategy because a lot of the moms in the marketplace, they feel stranded and deserted because they can't just drop their kids off at school when Johnny's running late and then show into the office around 9 or maybe 9:30, depending on if he puts his shoes on in time and brushes his teeth, and then has to leave at 2 o'clock to go pick her son up at 2:30 when he's out of school, which is what my wife does every damn day. But working from home is a different story because you're not time bound, you're results bound. And I talk about that in this, and I talk about how no one tells you these things about building a team virtually and the advantages of it. And also you get a really amazing, you're doing good things for the world to help employ people that have a really hard time getting a quote unquote job. Most of my copywriters, besides Kevin, are stay-at-home moms, okay? You're not a stay-at-home mom, right? So think about that, guys. I've done a talk about how to sell on LinkedIn. These have gotten hundreds of comments, thousands and thousands of views, okay? And no problem. You can just have the audio go across and there's a little wave bar. That little wave bar thing, by the way, is default in Adobe Premiere, and I'll show you guys how to do that, okay? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do another freaking bonus. I'm gonna do something awesome for you guys. I'm gonna have now I have to wait till Monday because he's off for the weekend. But on Monday, I'm gonna send you guys a recording of my video editor doing one of these videos. Would you guys like that? Let me see. You guys want to see like a tutorial in Adobe Premiere on how to do this? I think that would be useful. I'm also going to give you guys some different tools that you guys can do, and also some different services that you can do, not just including mine, that could help you do this if you're like me, because I ain't going to do it. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. Next. All right, that would be cool, people said. Okay, why is my mouse not working now? Okay, so how do you get started, y'all? Okay, remember, you got to transcribe. Transcribe, transcribe, transcribe. That's your content articles. That's your social media posts. That's your quote images. That's 3 things right there that I gave you that you transcribe into, right? Quote board, social media posts, articles. There's 3 things already from that, okay? Now, I'm going to show you my exact process that I use. So Ryan Levesque sends me gigabytes, terabytes of video damn near every month of events that he's been on, TV shows he's been on, events he's been at, lessons he's given to his Facebook group, and whatever else. And I have this guy. His name's Alex. He's actually one of my core branding method coaches. And this guy is what I like to call the micro content king. This guy is a genius. And he loves Ryan Levesque and some of our other bigger clients. And he actually spends about an hour or two a day going through their content and finding the best little clips, ranging from 45 seconds to 60 seconds for Instagram and ranging up to about 5 minutes for other platforms. And that's the magic number, guys, 5 minutes or less. If you really want to do Instagram, you're going to have to do square less than 1 minute unless you post on Instagram TV, just FYI, okay? But that guy finds all the video timestamps for the value bombs. And then my graphic team creates quote boards. All they do is they use a standardized font for the brand, for the Ask Method brand. We take out the little audio clips and we get it transcribed and we figure out where those timestamps are for the value bombs. We use Canva for that. Everyone's got a Canva account, okay? All you have to do is get a cool picture of yourself and write a quote on it and throw your logo on it. It's very simple. This is probably the most simple thing to do, okay? The next piece, guys, this is my exact process. We use rev.com, rev.com. It's $1 a minute, $1 per audio minute. So it's very affordable. They're probably still the most accurate out there. There's some other free services too, like otter.io, but just know it's not really human. So there is some different, things that are happening there that aren't right. So you probably have to spend a little more time editing the captions and video. And then we take those, we submit those we submit those to rev.com to get video captions, and then boom, we can add that on. The captions are just downloadable files. I think they're called SRT. Thank you, SRT files. They'll give you the SRT file, and then the SRT file you literally just drag and drop into Adobe Premiere, and it shows up. Right? Now, the important piece to know, guys, is you want to cut your videos first. You want to get your videos cut right and then submit to get your audio done, okay? And the reason why you want to do that is simple, because if you don't have your video done, you do your audio first, then you have to try and align the audio and the video and the captions all together, and it's whack, okay? So get your videos done first, and then you can submit them to get captions. Okay, now here is something that I want to show you guys, and I made another screen because this is kind of small, I think, for everybody. But this is a spreadsheet. We compile everything into a calendar by day that comes with the copy and the link to the picture or the video or whatever, what type of graphic it is. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. There you go. That's probably better for y'all. Okay. So you'll see on rev.com on the left-hand side that there's 3 things you can submit: transcription, captions, foreign subtitles. Okay, I like using the captions for videos. That way people can actually see those. If you do transcriptions, that's just going to come back on like a Word doc. If you do captions, it's going to come back as an SRT file ready to drag and drop right into your videos, which is friggin' awesome. All right, and I also want you guys to think about how you're naming these things. Okay, the naming convention is really important. Now, I'm a beast. I'm a savage content crushing beast. My team, every podcast I'm on, every recording I'm on, they're all doing little tiny micro clips. They're doing this stuff every day. I probably got 10 to 20 different things created for me every week. I've got probably I could die tomorrow and they'd have enough content to last for the rest of next year. Okay. And that's why it's really important, guys, that you just start getting comfortable on video, start doing Facebook Lives, start getting out your phone and recording yourself on it, get the DJI Osmo Mobile, let it do its thing. And if start getting comfortable looking at yourself. You have to look at yourself, look in the mirror, do some stuff, start reciting things to yourself, watch yourself on video, listen to yourself on video. You will fine tune and refine yourself, guys. If all you did every day was get 1% better than you were the day before, in only 100 days, you'd be 100% better. You'd actually be more, because it's 1% of 101%, and then it's 1% of 102%.
Yeah. So
really, you're going to be 150% or more better if you just were 1% better a day. Okay. So anyway, I'm also going to give you guys that access to that spreadsheet so you guys can see. Somebody just asked, can we get that? Absolutely, you can. All right. So again, video, send a transcription. Copywriters, now this is actually sent for full transcription. This is how we do the articles and the posts and things like that. So we go and we click on the transcription side of things, okay? So instead of doing captions, we do transcriptions. That comes out, and then my copywriters actually review the transcript and they proof and edit it, because sometimes there's some issues with the transcriptions, so it's always important. And guys, you can go on like Fiverr.com and find editors and stuff. I just happen to have an in-house copywriting team for myself, okay? And then the copy team finds short stories inside those and actually converts them into what we call clear copywriting posts. It's a format that we've used, it's proven, called clear. How to pique people's curiosity, lead them into reading more of the post, make them feel emotionally connected to your content, analyze something important that people can actually learn from, and then call to reaction. Make them have a reaction. So reinforce the original premise and get them to react. Okay, so that's what my copywriters are doing. And then also, our multimedia team converts the video into audio, and then we can add some intros and outros to make a clean podcast. Or we can do the video that you saw before, where we do video format with a picture of me, and you'll see the audio wave and the text go by. Okay, and by the way, these transcripts are the exact same things that we're using for articles. So Rev.com is a huge hack. It's probably the most valuable tool that I've used. You know, it's no secret if you come to me and say, hey, I'd like to sign up for your video editing service or whatever that you've got. We're very transparent with our clients. We use Rev.com. It's already built into the price of the video. You send us a 5-minute video, obviously $5 of everything at the cost of that video is going to be in the transcription. And then you've got an hour or two of my video guy, and you know, putting the captions on and making your templates, and a graphic designer to make a template for you. So, you know, we're able to keep our costs for our clients down to about $50 per video up to about 5 minutes. Sometimes we can get lower than that, especially if they're doing it in bulk, because we can start creating templates and stuff, and my team is more familiar. But if you think about, if all you did was create one piece of content or 2 pieces of content from video every week, you could have that video. And here's the cool part about investing in video. It's evergreen. It's evergreen. All the stuff that you're doing, all this copy, all the copy's evergreen. The video, the copy, the social media posts, the quote boards, these are all things that build your brand over time, and they last forever. It's what people see when they go to your profile. They see your videos. They see your quote images. They see you doing really great posts that are all consistent with your core offer. Okay, so the last piece, and this is an internal thing, is that we have our copywriters review everything before it actually gets posted. So sometimes you'll find that from the transcripts to the end product, there's a little bit of wackiness going on. You know, the fluid story might lose fluidity or might lose context. So it's really important that everything that you post is scanned to make sure that context is still in order and that it still makes sense, okay? So here are some final tips to make sure that you guys are successful. These are my 2 favorite tips in the world. One of them is to know your audience. Know your audience, guys. Your content should really be geared towards your audience, the people that you want to serve, the people that you know you can help, the people that are your ideal clients, the people that can actually benefit from creating from anything that you create, I should say, as your offer. And you do need to be consistent. If you are one of those people who's like out there and once in a while you'll make a post every week or 2 or maybe a month, that actually hurts. That really hurts your brand, because people see that and they're like, well, this person isn't really consistent. And also, it's like the shoemaker's kids. As a marketer, if most of you, let me ask a question really quick. How many of you guys are marketers? You help other people get found, or you help, or maybe you're a coach. If you're a coach, you're a marketer. I'll tell you that right now. If you are doing anything in the marketing, oh yeah, somebody says PR, okay, yeah, cool. Okay, some of you guys privately said yeah. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to admit anything. I'm not going to judge you. Hey, marketer is a bad word these days, right? That's why I'm a brander now. I do branding. Even though branding is marketing, and even though marketing is branding, I think they're very fluid today. So I want to show you guys. First off, I am going to show you some behind the scenes stuff of how these videos are done. But first I want to show you exactly how this spreadsheet works for me. So I wasn't planning on doing this. Actually, that was the end of my presentation. But I actually want to give you a little bit of behind the scenes look into how my content is structured for myself. Okay. Let me zoom in. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. You guys are going to see how ugly my Google Drive is. Oh boy. Okay. Whew. Oh, I can hit recent. All right. And by the way, guys, if you're curious what those pillars were supposed to look like, obviously I'm not the best artist. This is my graphic designer. She's a lot better than me. And I will make sure you guys get a copy of this as well, so you can think about how to position your content. Remember, each one of these boxes is a piece of content. I really like to have 5 pieces of content per pillar, and then plus 2 pieces of content for your authority industry experts that you team up with in your pillar mapping. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to go into spreadsheets here. Holy moly. Okay, y'all, here it is. So here's our social media file. This is it. It is wild. You guys are going to see right behind the scenes here how this works. So this is how I'm able, so this is what we do for all of my clients and myself. So I wanted to show you what we're doing for myself. Now, this isn't just for myself. This is just for one of my brands. This is for the branded media social profile. So we have 2 pieces of content every day. Someone says, "Oh my God." This is exactly what it looks like. And you can see here, we've got June, July, August, September. So I can see the stuff that's coming up in September. So let's say, so today, I guess this is the stuff that's already been scheduled for September 6th and September 7th. See, the stuff's already been scheduled. So they have a whole bunch of content that they've created. I'm going to use August because you guys can see all this stuff has already been posted. But my team goes in here, they post the content. Here's all the copy for it. Take time to surround yourself with positive people, whether it's in the physical or virtual world, people who are full of enthusiasm and positive outlook in life. Expose yourself to positivity, read inspiring stories. You will be surprised by how they can make a positive impact on your day and even your way of thinking. And it says right here, text that goes inside the graphic, beautiful minds inspire others. And then they have a link to the actual graphic that's posted with my ugly face. Oh man, that's horrible. All right, it is what it is. All right, and then they have a little drop down here, posted, scheduled, or not, right? That's what the empty box means, they haven't yet. So they've already scheduled 4 posts. One's for tomorrow and the one for the date after tomorrow. And I keep my team is usually 2 days ahead. I mean, they have tons and tons of content, but they schedule everything 2 days ahead. So that's how that works. We also do lead gen and other things that I'm not teaching you guys on this call today. But yeah, guys, what I'm going to do too is I'll share with you this template. Okay. So matter of fact, let me do this. Let me stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to send over a message to my team. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and send a message to my team right now to create a blank version of this for you guys. So I want to do that. So I'm going to go into my project management chat, tell RS, can I please have a blank template version of this for my students? All right. And anytime you guys see something that you like of mine, feel free to let me know. I'm more than happy to let you guys steal anything that you like. Okay. Someone's like, yay. Oh, leave some examples in there. Okay, hold on. Let me leave a few examples in there. Actually, leave a few examples in there. A few from each month. Okay, I'll have them leave a few from each month in there, Shane. Okay. So there you go. So you guys should have that. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a video made. I'm going to ask RS, her name's Roxanne Sandra. She hates me telling people that. She hates both of her first names. She just likes to go by RS. But RS is my video and social media project manager, and she's incredible. She's out in Davao City, guys, in the Philippines. About 80% of my staff is in the Philippines. The rest are out here in America. I think I've got 1 or 2 in Australia, one in South America, 1 in the UK. But for the most part, oh, and I have to give a shout out to my girl Kavika in Dominica. All right, so RS, also can I have an Adobe Premiere template and video tutorial how to do it. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys all the slides so you guys can use this. You guys can leverage it. You can go back to it anytime you have questions. You guys know where to find me. I'm in the Facebook group. It's called Scale Your Business and Your Brand, although that's going to be changed soon to Savage Marketers, because y'all are savage marketers. If you're doing this, you are savage. This is definitely not something normal people do every day. This has definitely contributed to my rise to popularism or whatever I am now. I don't know. I'm getting more opportunities, I'll put it that way. My influence and authority has grown because I've been doing massive amounts of content that no one does. No one does this, guys. If you do this, you're giving yourself such a huge advantage in your industry, because I guarantee you, this is stuff that no one does. Look at the people in your space. Look at the people in your space and look who the industry leaders are, and you will find something very common between the industry leaders. They do massive amounts of content. And this is a shortcut. This is literally showing you how you can create tons of content in a very short amount of time, be organized, and not basically become a slave to social media. This is literally how to create a ton of content, become an influence, and actually not become a slave to social media. Okay? All right, I got a lot of people saying thanks. I thank you guys. I'm going to end this call now. I will have the recording up. You guys are going to get the template file, just like I promised. You're going to get the recording if you're watching the replay. Thank you so much. Questions in the Facebook group. You just go to facebook.com/groups/9010 lifestyle. 9010 lifestyle. 9010 lifestyle. 9010 lifestyle stands for a philosophy that I have about working and focusing on the 10% of my life that really lights me up, that I'm passionate about, and delegating, outsourcing the other 90% of my life that doesn't. I encourage all of you to use that philosophy as well. Matter of fact, if you're debating doing this for yourself right now, I encourage you, let's have a discussion if you want, and we can see what this would actually cost you to do. Like I said, I try to keep it around $50 a video. We have a package where we can create videos and quote images for you at a monthly price of less than $1,000. So if you're really ready to take this to the next level, and you want to become an authority and influencer in your space, like I said, I've given you the blueprint, everything you need to do it yourself. And if you want some help to do it, you know who to reach out to. Again, I'm honored to be here, and thank you guys very much. Talk soon.
See you guys.